Hey AussieDoodle fans, I'm here with Envy's litter. This is her first litter, and these little guys are 2 weeks old. And this is my first of several videos that all the puppy owners will get roughly once a week. Plus we do a round of professional pictures every week as well. The 2-week video is the first video you get, and it's the longest video because I talk a lot about the puppies. But if you were thinking about getting a puppy from AussieDoodle, this is a great video for you to watch because it shows you what we do with the puppies in the first 2 weeks of their life. 2 weeks ago today, Envy started to get very restless. She was nesting around the house. She takes her paws like this and gets in the couch and looks for a place to have her puppies. She got in my bed, she got on the couch, she gets in the corner. Sometimes I let her outside and she's digging behind a bush. And what Mom is doing is she's looking for a safe place to have her puppies. So in that week or two leading up to her having puppies, I bring her in here in this whelping box at least once a day to try to introduce her to the whelping box and kind of give her the idea that this is where she's going to have her puppies. When they first start nesting and they feel the labor coming on, a lot of times they don't come in here for their first litter because they don't really understand that this is where they have their puppies. Second and third litters, they get more used to it. They kind of know that this is where they're going to have their puppies. So she had her first puppy around midnight a week ago, and everyone came out just fine. I'm going to show you a little video of a puppy being born, and you guys can kind of see how that puppy comes out and what we do with it, when it first comes out. Come on, push it. Come on, Zed, push. Good girl. Good girl. But these first 2 weeks, keeping a litter healthy and thriving is somewhat of a challenge. There are a lot of things that can go wrong in the first 2 weeks of a puppy's life. We've been using this style of whelping box for a few years for many reasons. Number one, it's been proven to be safe. We've never lost or hurt a puppy because of the whelping box. There's no places that puppies can get hurt in here. We have the pig rails around the outside so Mom can't smash a newborn puppy up against the wall. We have a blanket on the bottom that's tucked in all the way around the outsides. That way there's no possible way that a puppy can get caught up underneath the blanket. You don't just want to throw blankets in the whelping box because puppies can go up underneath the blanket and then Mom lays down on the blanket and can smother a puppy. So we're very careful to get blankets that are big enough to be tucked in all the way around. Underneath that, we have a piece of like a linoleum remnant that you would get from the home store. And then that's very easily cleaned. So when we pull this blanket up, we can clean that linoleum very well. Underneath that, we have a heating pad. The heating pad is about 2 foot by 4 foot, and it sits right here. I can feel the warmth of it on me right now as I sit. And these puppies can come onto the heating pad area if they're cold, or they can go off to the side if they're warm. And when Mom comes in, Mom usually lays against the side so Mom can stay a little bit more cool. Up until puppies are about 2 weeks old, they cannot control their own body temperature. So They have to have this heating pad in here, or they have to snuggle up to mom, or as you can see, they all kind of cuddle up to stay warm. So the way that you see these puppies here, you know, some are cuddled up, but they're not struggling to get on top of each other. This is the right temperature. This room is pretty warm too. This room is pushing 80 degrees, and we'll keep it that way until about 2.5 to 3 weeks, where I'm comfortable that puppies are warm enough. All I really need to do is look in here and I can tell if these puppies are warm enough. If they're struggling to get on top of each other, then I know that it's too cold in the room. If they are all spread out like little hot dogs everywhere, then I know that my room is plenty warm, or maybe even too warm. So at AussieDoodle, we do not use heating lamps. Heating lamps are a terrible idea. They're dangerous. They don't disperse the heat evenly. A puppy can literally cook underneath a heat lamp, and then if they're 2 feet away from it, they're just cold again. So no heat lamps. Heat lamps fall into welcome boxes and land on top of puppies, and we just do not use any type of heat lamps. We don't use any of those old school breeder tools like baby pools and heat lamps and shredded newspaper. Everything that you see here in this welcome box is done for a reason, and that reason is to keep these puppies safe. So again, in the first 2 weeks of a puppy's life, they're pretty much helpless. They can't control their own body temperature. They can't even really poop and pee on their own. Mom has to lick them to stimulate them to go. Their eyes aren't open, so they can't see. They can't hear very well because their ears are actually closed. Now these ears and their eyes will open up between the 2 and 3 week stage. So we call this the transition stage between 2 and 3 weeks. That is where these puppies go from these helpless little inchworms to puppies who are running around the puppy box and tails start wagging, and they really are able to open their eyes and they're able to hear, and they start taking notice of their environment around them. In the first 2 weeks of a puppy's life, we have this instinct to want to take care of them. We have this instinct we try to put them on the nipple, and we want everybody to be safe and no puppies to struggle. And you will probably see on the puppy cam that when Envy gets in here and the puppies get ready to nurse, they're all fighting for the nipple, and some puppies get pushed off, and it looks a little stressful for the puppies. But that stress that you see these puppies go through is actually good stress, because it teaches them how to deal with conflict. It teaches them how to deal with stressful situations. And we do a lot of puppy touching in the first couple weeks old. The more we touch these puppies, the more we grab them like this while they're sleeping, it teaches them how to handle being startled. So if the neighbor kid comes over and grabs your puppy's tail, or reaches out and startles your puppy, these exercises that we do with the puppies at this age helps them deal with that later on in life. We also do what's called early neurological stimulation. And early neurological stimulation has been done for years on rats and primates. And there's a guy named Dr. Battaglia who has made early neurological stimulation popular for puppies. And the protocol for ENS for puppies is we slightly stress the puppies, and then we relax the puppy after that. So we would take a puppy and we turn it upside down for about 3 to 5 seconds, and you see how he's struggling just a little bit, and then we ride him up again and we make him feel better. We put him straight up like this, and you can see he kind of struggles a little bit, and then we put him back down again. And we use our own judgment. If we have a puppy who is stressed or is struggling way too much, then we kind of back off with this exercise. We also turn the puppy on their back, and we scratch their chest just a little bit, and they hate that the worst at first. But by the time these puppies go home, they're much more comfortable with being on their back. And that's a very submissive position. It's a very vulnerable position for a puppy. So it's no wonder they don't like it very much. Lastly, we lay down a wet washcloth, and we put them on the wet washcloth for 3 to 5 seconds. And what that does is that stimulates their little pads on their feet. They feel that temperature, and that it stimulates that neurological system, and it helps them deal with conflict later in life. So the studies have shown that by doing this early neurological stimulation from 3 to 16 days old, it helps these puppies have a stronger immune system. It helps them fight off diseases better. It helps them to be better problem solvers. And believe it or not, it creates stronger heart rates. So this ENS stuff that we do with the puppies is incredibly valuable. It is real. People have been doing this for over 10 years. Not just with puppies. A lot of military dogs and police trained dogs, and they go through this as well, because those type of dogs need to be comfortable in a variety of different situations, and they need to be able to deal with stress. So when these puppies go home to you, a dog that knows how to deal with stress and knows how to deal with conflict and is a better problem solver is going to be a more calm dog and a more affectionate dog. We want your puppy to be comfortable going to the brewery with you, or going to the kids' soccer game, or going to Home Depot, riding in the car. The more we can do with these puppies at this age, the better these puppies are going to be able to handle different situations in the future. Now, when you get your puppy at 8 weeks old, we're going to coach you, and we're going to tell you what you need to be doing with your puppy from 8 to 10 weeks old, from 10 to 12 weeks old, and so forth. So we're doing the work right now, and then when you get your puppy, we kind of hand the baton over to you, and we coach you on what to do with your puppy to continue the same type of exercises that we do with your puppy. So over the next 6 weeks, we will be stimulating these puppies. We're going to give them lots of toys, lots of things to play with, and using the same technique that people use with their human babies. For example, showing your human baby black and white flashcards, or hanging a mobile above your baby's crib. That's kind of the same thing that we're doing with these puppies to make them as smart as possible. People don't realize how much, at this young of an age, how much this affects the temperament of these puppies. Even the stress level and the nutrition of mom affects these puppies' temperament at this stage. So, for example, imagine you bought a puppy from a breeder who has multiple litters in kennels. Well, if moms are very protective of their puppies, right? So mom number 1 is in here with her puppies. If mom can hear mom number 2 and mom number 3 barking or growling, then this mom is going to be stressed. And when mom is stressed, she releases chemicals into her milk that the puppies drink, and in turn that can make the puppy stressed as well. So keeping mom calm and happy, well fed, lots of water, vitamins every day, keeping her calm and her nutrition up will give these puppies the best chance at being healthy, well-rounded dogs that will be comfortable in a variety of different situations throughout its lifetime.